Hi, welcome back, it's Susan. I reminded myself about this card that I'd made previously, and I thought I'd recap on how I've done it in a little bit more of a modern version, and it's using toilet paper to make those plants. So just putting my mat down so to protect my surface. This is the stamp set I'm going to be using. It's a Stampin' Up one, and it's Beauty and Joy. And I'm going to use the topiary and the plant pot and then the stem. These all come separately for you to stamp. So the topiary pot I've put on my acrylic block. I've cut my toilet paper up into 4 pieces that'll fit. I'm just going to spritz with water and tamper it down. Making sure you tamper down firmly but not too roughly. You don't want to rip the paper, but make sure you do it all the way around. Add another layer, put some more water on and tamper again. And basically you're going to do this process until you've done all the toilet paper. Making sure you're getting all the nooks and crannies, whatever stamps you're going to use, to give you the best impression you can. I'd forgotten just how fun that this technique really is. You can really see the impression there now. So once you've done it, you can peel it off. Obviously, ideally, I would say leave it to dry natural. You can heat it with the heat gun, but I do find you get the best results if you just leave it to dry overnight. And that is what I'm going to do with this one. So just wiping that mat down. And going on to the next stage. So this embossing folder that I've got, I've cut a piece of card which measures 6 by 6. I've put that through the die cut machine to emboss. And all I'm going to do is put a little colour down on top of the embossing. So hence the brickwork and the actual door itself, just on the raised parts. That's what I'm doing. You might want to decorate yours differently, but that's what I'm doing in this one. And only do the colours very gently because you don't want to deflate all that lovely embossing what we've just put through. Now I'm just putting a light grey down and then accenting with a darker grey in the corners. I'm not going to complete this. I'm just roughly starting this so that you can see just how I've made the complete project. In my pot I've got a little bit of cotton wool pad with some Gamsol. That's Odorless Mineral Spirits, the artist grade, and a paper stump. So I'm just blending out onto that brickwork the colour that I've just popped down. And it smooths out the pencil and gives it a more professional finish. Now flip the other end of the paper stump so not to contaminate my colours, and I'm just going over that grey very, very quickly, just to give you an idea of how I get the finished effect. And then I can finish this one at a later time. And I've put the lid back on correctly. There it is. So this is one I've completed. As you can see, it really starts to look lovely. So I've got all my other bits done. You can see how I've finished that toilet paper impression. So all I did after that, while it's in the original state, once it's dried, I stamped the stamp again with the green ink, stamped into it, and then just fussy cut it out and put some Nouveau drops on. These Nouveau drops I've used, there's the Vintage Drops, Regency Green and Yellow Brick Road, and the Nouveau Crystal Drops, which are a metallic one, and I used Copper Penny. This is a wreath that I've stamped out, and I didn't want the sentiment in the middle, so I've just fussy cut everything out as well. And I've just coloured it through with some glitter gel pens. Same as I've stamped out the lights. So that's the wreath stamp I used. And just cut that Happy Holiday out of the middle. And that's the light set I've used. I stamped it out twice. So just joined it up again and then fussy cut it out. That one was a Trudy, I think you call a Showlander, the second name, the Christmas lights. Keeping all my colours all in tone with each other. Stamped out the base of the pot and then the stem of the bush. And stamped out the letterbox as well. And that's from a free set I got with Hunky Dory, and that's the set that I got the door with as well. So I've just put some tape on the back, and I've put tape on. I don't normally use tape, but I've put tape on because this gold paper that I'm going to use as a matte layer, it's quite thin, and I do find that whichever glue I've put on, it always buckles a little bit. So I'm using tape this time. And I'll use the tape to pop it onto the base card as well. Doing this little corner trick to help it get lined up. Although when I'm doing videos, I always seem to struggle to get it lined up. I don't know whether it's because I know you're going to watch me, but it just come right in the end. But just doing that little trick of popping the corner down, it really helps a lot. So the lights are going down first. Just trimming that end off a little bit. Then popping some glue on. I've put some foam pads onto the wreath. And I'm placing that down in the centre. And my little sentiment I've done on the computer because I wanted it personalised. Just cut that out with a die and then ran my pen round it. Taking those foam pads off the base as well on the plant pot. I have fussy cut all these elements out. Even though I have got a scan and cut, I do still prefer to fussy cut for some reason. I've also put some foam pads at the back of the plant. And I just love how they come together. So cute. So just, I love it. And I certainly will be doing this technique a lot more. It just brings that topiary to life. So I'm doing my stability base the same width as the card and 4 inches wide. And on the 4-inch side, scoring it a half, 2 and 3.5. Just fold and burnish as normal. I'm going to use the tape runner on these sides. So that folded edge to the front. Flip it round. And that should sit lovely. I do want to say, make sure that your Nouveau drops are completely dry before, if you're going to do that. So I hope you've liked. Subscribe to my tutorials. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a message. Thank you, and see you soon.